The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it, back at it. It's The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Mostly on the Steve side of things, but he drags me along.
We all know that's not true, Tom. You drive the car, I sit in the back and just, and I say, how long before we get there? I'm that guy.
Speaking of driving cars, we were at a car cruise, and we saw a station wagon that had to be like in the early 70s.
Love it.
And I don't know why the manufacturers ever stopped making those vehicles.
Well, they were lasted like 2 years. They rusted and fell on the floor, let's be honest.
This one, I mean, it was metal on the dash, and it's metal on the outside, but it had that cool back seat, so the very back seat flipped around so that you could watch your movies.
Yeah.
What do they call those things? Drive-ins.
There we go.
Remember the drive-ins?
Oh, I do.
Oh, God. Well, you lived up in...
we were right by the North Drive-In.
The North Drive-In.
Yeah, we would go in the backyard 4th of July and watch the fireworks.
Oh, that's great.
And the mosquitoes were the size of dogs, but they was, it was fun.
And then I was on, over there on the outskirts of Nedrow.
Oh, yeah.
So we had that one that was up just by the reservation, and that was a beautiful drive-in, too.
Thanks, so, that was fun.
Those were good times. I don't know why they got rid of all these things.
Well, the car's all rusted.
Old.
I didn't keep my 77 Vega. I don't think.
No.
No.
There's a guy at one of the cruise-ins who's got a Vega that's all decked out
Get
for race.
Out.
Oh yeah, it's all raced.
That's cool.
Yeah, real nice vehicle. Sue Litera is with us right now. Don't scare her away, okay?
She's just what I do.
New to the show, but she's the CEO of Hospice of Central New York and the Finger Lakes. How are you, Sue?
Hi guys, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Sue, what side of town did you grow up on? Are you a native of the area?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Madison County in Canastota. Okay. I did live right here in Liverpool for a while, about 8-9 years, and I was out of state for a little while, and then headed on back home and kind of put down some roots when I was having my kids. And so most of my career has been out in the Syracuse market, with the exception of my last role, which was out east in Utica. So, yeah.
Love Canastota. We moved up there in the early 70s. My father was the band teacher at Robert Street School. And I went to Robert Street Elementary.
How did I miss this?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know everything about you. I did not know that.
First grade and second grade I spent at Robert Street School.
Oh, funny. Yeah.
We lived on the street. Do you remember where Hermitage Gardens was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Hermitage Gardens, that was at the end of my street.
Oh, funny. Yeah. We're out in the country a little bit, which is my preference. I'm a really social person, but when I go home, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah, unplug. Yeah, that's
exactly.
great.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful. So what did you do before Hospice?
I was the CEO of the United Way of the Mohawk Valley. So I was there for a couple of years and built up a great team, loved it. Wasn't really actively looking, but when I did see this role, I have a personal connection to hospice, and I said, if I don't at least put my name in the ring, I'm going to regret it. And then here we are. So
I think everyone has some kind of a personal connection.
Can you share that with us and with the listeners?
Yeah, so about 11 years ago, my first husband died rather suddenly and leaving me with my young kids. They were 6, 10, and 14. Wow. And I immediately reached out to hospice and used their bereavement services for my kids. At the time, I didn't think I needed counseling.
Right.
It turned out I did. But it was so impactful for our family, the support that they gave us. And as a matter of fact, I brought my now 25-year-old over to the office after I started working back to the bereavement center. Wow. And I didn't tell her what it was. And she walked in and she said, wait a second, this is where we went. I said, yeah. And so she remembered. Wow. And she remembered how helpful, those folks were for her and how important that is.
I didn't know that bereavement services was part of hospice.
It is.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And that's
it's part of the whole program. Yeah. Well, it's an interdisciplinary program. So, bereavement, obviously when the families are going through having somebody in the program, we have a social worker, we have nurses, we have chaplains, so we can provide spiritual care along with, the clinical side, and also the social work support. And then afterwards, we provide bereavement for 13 months for our family members.
So I think sometimes there's confusion about there's hospice, there's some hospice-ish places There's different
Yeah.
things. So hospice, define the space of what you guys represent and you support.
Yeah, so we go into people's homes so that the patients can stay in their homes during their end of life care, and we're able to provide that comfort, and we're able to provide the medications that they need to stay comfortable, to stay in their home, to avoid hospitalization stays. So, at their end of life, they want to be home, they want to be in their own bed, they want to be surrounded by their family members, and we can provide that opportunity through our nurse visits and social work support. And really, we go in, and it's not just the patient. We're looking at the whole family dynamic and how we can support the entire family through their end-of-life process and make sure we can help people die with dignity.
So how many people on the team here?
Our staff?
Yeah.
I think we've got between full-time, part-time, per diem, about 112, 115.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
how many of those are nurses or administrators? Or how's it carved up?
Steve, I've been here 8 weeks, so you're killing me.
And,
I think
and what's
that-
pie? No, sorry.
I'm not sure on that exactly the breakdown. I want to say half and half, but I could be completely making that up. But we've got a pretty robust nursing team. But that's a great segue. We are always hiring for RNs and social workers. Right. We need people to continue to grow our program, to make sure that we can get to our referrals as quickly as possible. And our RNs and our social workers, it's a special person that comes and works for us, and it takes a special type of person. One thing I can say is that while the work at times is heavy, it's the most rewarding work. So you can be a nurse elsewhere and probably feel fulfilled, but I promise you will feel so much more fulfillment working at hospice. You will go home at the end of the day knowing you made such a significant difference for these families.
Does it need to be full-time?
No, we hire full-time, part-time, whatever people can give us.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, nurses are in particular used to working different shifts, and if you have a young family and you want to work just part-time, that's okay too. So, but we're really trying to get the push out there that we need more people, and why working at hospice is the only place you want to work.
For people who don't want to pass away in their home, are you set up at a facility as well?
We don't have a hospice facility, but we do work with places like Francis House, and we can go into Francis House and treat Francis House as someone's home essentially.
Gotcha.
And provide the services that hospice provides in those facilities. Yeah, and we also work with Matthew's House up in Auburn. Yeah.
So it sounds like you need a lot more people. You're handling all of the Finger Lakes as well as this Syracuse area.
Yeah, I mean we've got. It's not like we don't have enough staff. We do, but we always need more because, getting referrals is never a problem, sadly. Mm-hmm. So just making sure that we can get to those people in the most timely manner is what's really critical.
Yeah, I had a friend who was in hospice down in Penn Yan. Was that in the in the range?
It depends on when it was, but yeah.
Yeah, within the last year or so.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful location. I went and I talked to them and stuff, and I know the nurses came and went.
Yep.
And they weren't there the whole time, so that would be an example of how hospice.
Yeah, absolutely. And it depends on the state of somebody's physical decline and how frequently we then start coming in more frequently. And family members can call us at any time and day of the night, and we'll be there.
Do you need money?
We always need money. We always need money.
How can people help?
We are reimbursed by Medicare, but it doesn't meet the full need of what we pay out. So we also have a foundation that does fundraising support and takes donations to offset those costs. So we always need more support.
So how can people contribute then?
Yeah, I mean they can go to our website,
Gotcha.
they can call us, and we'll make it as easy as possible to take money.
So the hospicecny.org. Did I get that right, Tom?
Yep.
Yes.
I generally mess up these things. Hospicecny. And I'm going to take a shot at the phone number, Tom. You ready?
Go ahead, buddy.
It's 634-1100.
Correct.
And that big
that's
area
tough.
code 315.
Yeah, we're in the 315.
We appreciate you joining us, and it's awesome that you've joined the team at Hospice
Thank you.
and have the head. So thanks for doing that.
Thanks so much.